This is a Humbly beat. Beat.
My name's Vincent Harris, but people call me Vince, Vinny, Vincenzo, whatever nickname, what they think, my cousin Vinny. They just say so many different nicknames since I was like a little kid, but people could just call me Vince now. That's about it. Originally, I'm from Washington, D.C., but I'm living right now, I'm in Maryland. I'm in Bowie, Maryland right now at the moment. And I've been in the DMV ever since, born and raised, so that's where I'm from. Proud to be. I'm actually the CEO of Ambitious Whips. I'm also a member of Asphalt Angels, which is all of a classic car club. And I became a member in their club for 2 years now. But I've been with Ambitious Whips going on right now a little over 4 years. So it'll be the 5-year anniversary in 2018, which I'm really excited for. All right, well, this is my 1992 Z28 Camaro. I had this since March. It's not even been a year yet. And it's one of my dream cars. I always wanted one since I was 16 years old. I just couldn't afford one until now. So I'm actually pretty excited that I got this car. Yes, it is. It's my toy. This is my main toy. This is literally the weekend cruiser, but I take it out whenever I get a chance. If it can start up, so it's a carbureted motor, so if it can start up in the wintertime, I'll take it out in the snow if I can, just to have some fun with it. But this is my main toy, but I want to have a collection one day. Because when I was little, I was like 3-4 years old, my first Hot Wheels car was an F-body. So it was a Camaro. It was literally a white Camaro with Hot Wheels on the side, on both sides. And it didn't even bring it to my attention that was an F-body at first. But then when I started growing up more and more, I noticed this car in real life. And then recently I found my box of Matchbox and Hot Wheels cars, and I found that same exact car. And I was like, it all makes sense now, because this was my childhood dream car. Very first childhood dream car. So I'm really happy I got one, and I'm planning on keeping this for a long time. I've been in cars since, been around them since I was 4, 3, around that time. And ever since, I was hanging around with my father, my brother, my cousin. It was my family that got me into cars mainly. And then Fast and Furious came out in 2001. I was like, oh, they got, imports and everything. Because I was always on the classics and muscle cars. But when I saw Fast and Furious, it just got me more into more of a diversity of cars. I love them all now. I love Euros, I love imports, I love muscle, I love trucks, I love all of them. They're all unique in all different types of ways. Well, what I know of from the car, what it has a 355 crate motor, has about 30,000 miles on it, and that's what I was told by the previous owner of the car. I'm the 4th owner of this vehicle. I know it's a built 355, has RHS heads, aluminum heads, it's a straight pipe exhaust, but I plan on switching out the exhaust. And it's pretty much unique. It's still not unique. It's still in its original condition when it comes to interior. The interior's pristine. There's a couple body scratches here and there, but what old car doesn't have that? But other than that, it also has some race slicks on the back. Of course, those are M&H Race Masters on the back. Well, they're actually, yeah, I was gonna say, because I actually have that, and I also have a set of Cooper Cobras at home, and I'm actually gonna put those on as well. But other than that, it's still a work in progress. I'm still learning more about this car day by day. I'm still learning about it, so I'm still trying to figure it out myself, see what else it has. But I plan on doing a lot to it myself to build it the way I want it to be. Future plans. It's a lot, but I'm gonna start with rebuilding my suspension. That's what I'm gonna do first, is rebuild my whole suspension. I'm going to go ahead from probably early in the next year, like probably around January, February, I'm gonna start building my suspension up, rebuild the whole thing. I'm gonna go ahead and swap it to LS1 or LS2, 5.7 or 6.0, and I'm just gonna turn this into pretty much a street legal drag car, or a street car, pretty much. That's what it's called, a street car, and that's what I just want it to be, and just have fun with it. I don't want to just go all over, you know, go all out and just have it turn into like a 9 or 8 second car. Everybody wants to have fast cars. I love to have a fast car, but just that feeling of getting behind the wheel of this and just driving it, that's all I want. I don't care about running on a straight line for a quarter mile or 1/8 mile. You know, it's fun, but you know, I'm not going to do the most out of this car, but I'm going to build it the way I want it to be. What I like about this car, it looks intimidating to me. It really does. I mean, it just has that look, not just the intimidating look, but just the look of, it's just something different compared to other cars. I mean, third gens, they're known for just trailer park trash cars, you know, that's what they call them sometimes. I hear a lot of stuff about my car, a lot of bad stuff about my car, because a lot of people don't like third gens because they're just, most of the third gens nowadays, they're all beaten up, they're dogged, they're rusted, they're in junkyards, they're all wrecked pretty much. Majority of them are wrecked. So it's hard to find one of these in good condition. That's why when I found this car, I was really lucky to get this. I was really lucky, and I'm blessed to have a car in decent condition as it is right now, as it sits. So these cars are, to me, you can find one easily somewhere in a driveway, just rotting away, not even being driven, and it's just sitting there, or it's just sitting on the side of the road, or it's just sitting in a junkyard. These, you know, it's hard to find. That's why I'm glad to have one. To me, it's just a nice, unique car. Everybody knows the name Camaro, but when it comes to these third gens, they're pretty much like people know them, but some people don't know them. They just think they're just POSs to some people, because most of them are known to be rusted, wrecked, or just dogged and not even taken care of. What I don't like about this car, it's hard to find what I don't like about this car, honestly. What I don't like about it right now, but there is one thing I don't like about it. It does have an oil leak, but it's from the intake manifold gasket. I just need to take off my intake manifold. I got to take off my carburetor, which, by the way, that is another modification. I put it used to have a 650 Edelbrock, but I put a 650 electric choke. It was a 4-barrel Proform. That's what I got on this, Proform. So it's brand new on the car and everything. And when it comes back to pretty much what I don't like, I got to take off the carburetor, I got to take off the distributor, I got to retime that whole thing, or make sure that I don't mess up the timing when I take it off. Just take off the intake manifold so I can just replace the gasket and everything, because when I drive around it sometimes smokes, but it's nothing major, but it's annoying, so I don't like that. When I get the chance to fix it, I actually plan to fix it this weekend, so hopefully it'll be done. But it's hard to find something I don't like on this car. I haven't found something yet, but eventually it'll happen, because it's a love-hate thing when it comes to these cars. Not at the moment, but I plan on having another one. I actually want 3 of these cars. I want three F bodies. I want all third gens. One's gonna be a track car, well, pretty much a street car, what I've explained already. This will be the street car. Another one's gonna be fully restored, look like it just came out the dealership floor, right off the floor. The third one, I feel like a lot of muscle car guys are gonna hate me, but I feel like a lot of import guys are gonna like me, because I'm gonna get a third gen, and my dream is to actually 2JZ swap it. I want to 2JZ swap a third gen and turn that into a drift car, because the 2JZ motor is pretty much the LS of Japan. It's literally the heart and soul of the Supra, and the Supra was pretty much one of the best cars that Japan ever produced. So that's when I saw the first Fast and Furious and saw the Supra on there, I fell in love. Like, I was like, I need one of those cars too. I would love to have a Supra, but if I can't get a Supra, a legit Supra, why not just get the motor and swap it into my other dream car, and just best of both worlds. So I really don't see anyone drift a third gen. So I want to be one of the few people that might be doing it, if there is, if not the first. So that's what I want to do. That's just the tip of the iceberg of projects that I want. Also want a Dakota RT with a 5.9 Hemi, supercharged that, 2000 or 1999, that year, that's the year of the body style I want. 70 Chevelle with a 454 big block, 93 NSX. I want a lot of cars. This is a lot. The list goes on, but those are just a few I want. My top 5 dream garage cars, I think I just named them. It was the Dakota, 1999 2000 Dakota. I already got the 92 Z28, 72 Chevelle, 93 NSX, and I think that's 4. I also want a C5 Corvette, 2002, 2003 probably, that year, and I just want those cars. They're literally all different, but that's the reason why I want them all, because they all have they're all different cars. They all have different, unique ways of driving. Whether it's straight line, drifting, just having fun. That's all that matters. It means a lot to me because I was born and raised on that. That's literally a huge piece of my life. Like, from the moment I've held a Hot Wheels in my hand to now, when it comes to hosting events, because Ambitious Whips, we host a lot of events, we do a lot for the community. That's what the car culture is to me. The car culture is not just driving your car and enjoying the moment you're in that car, wherever you're going, it doesn't matter because you're just enjoying the ride. But the car culture involves a lot. It involves bringing the community together. It involves awarenesses and causes such as breast cancer awareness, helping the veterans out, helping the homeless out, because that's what we do. I mean, I was always raised to help someone, whether it was a family member, a friend, or a stranger. I was always there to help. And then I realized that bringing the car community and the social community together, to bring it all together as a whole, is literally a very amazing thing. I love it because it helps out so much. Not just, you're just sharing that passion with someone else that you don't even know, but then within just minutes of knowing that person, y'all just become best friends, literally because of just talking about a machine. To some people they think it's just a machine with 4 wheels and that's it. But it literally just created a bond just a few minutes after just sharing what your car can do, what mods it has, how long you have the car, or what made you get into cars. It's literally, it's a lot coming from just the love, the passion, the excitement, the thrill, and just helping others. It's literally, it's amazing. I just love it so much, and I just never want to get rid of it ever. I don't want to let go of it. It's literally my life. And if I don't have it, I don't know what else I would do. Honestly, I don't know what to do. Okay, true car enthusiast to me is someone who appreciates their build, no matter what it is. They don't talk trash. They don't discriminate. They actually, when they get a chance to actually look and see what they've created. And a lot of people they put money into their car to the point where they go broke. They eat ramen noodles for a month or two, and it's just the fact that they put all that effort and their self-control, and just not self-control but self-discipline to do that is outstanding. Because seeing that how far that car has come, it doesn't matter if it's an import, it doesn't matter if it's a Euro, it doesn't matter if it's a muscle. The fact that you took all that time, that money, that blood, the sweat, tears, emotion, all that, just to build your car, that is outstanding, like I said, and I respect that 110%. I appreciate the builds, that a lot of builds out here. When it comes to the car scene in Maryland, DC, and Virginia, there's a lot of potential that is out here. In every single car meet that I've been to, I've met a lot of people through these car meets, and the fact of meeting all these people shows me that there's such thing as a true car enthusiast. There's people I've met that has talk trash. There's people that actually appreciate everybody's builds, and just seeing how it is just it just makes me happy to see that a true car enthusiast like that out there, they exist. What does it need to improve? Okay, there's a few things to improve, because there's always room for improvement when it comes to the car scene. A lot of people well, not a lot of people, but a lot of meets that I've been to have done a lot of stupid, reckless stuff like burnouts, peel-offs, littering at car meets. I mean, that's the thing. Like, there's a lot of stuff that can be improved. It's going to be hard to improve because we can't just tell everybody what to do. Everybody's human. Everybody's an adult. It just sucks that it feels like we have to babysit, some of these people like adults, because there's people out there that we ask them nicely to do what's right. Don't litter, don't do burnouts, don't drift, don't do donuts in the parking lot, don't speed off in the parking lot. Knowing for a fact there's children probably involved here at these meets, and that's stuff I wish that could improve, but it's hard to do because it's hard to control that many people at once, especially if it's just at one meet, there's only one person. It's always going to happen. There's no way around it. But like I said, I wish there was ways to improve that part. And when it comes to there's a lot of clubs out there that I've associated with that I've realized and noticed, some of these clubs, they act, some of these clubs, they feel, they're there, they act like they're there to respect and support you, but at the same time they're not. Like, one moment they're saying, oh yeah, we got your support, but then one moment they're not. And I'm just like, it makes me feel like, who is actually out here to support each other? Who is actually out there to help each other out? Trust me, I know a few clubs right now, and I can count at least 5, that I do believe that they're there to support. No matter what no matter what the club is, if they're there for a good cause, or good, helping each other out and supporting each other, they're going to be there to support back. There's some clubs that I've supported, they didn't show me love in the end. They actually ended up, there was trash talk on social media and stuff like that. That's another thing about the car scene. A lot of people talk trash on social media, but then when they're in face-to-face, no one says anything. That's another thing that's very unfortunate. But then again, another thing that's hard to control. But I just wish that, I wish that a lot of car clubs can get more interactive with each other, to help each other out, to actually do something right instead of just looking out for themselves. This is not a place to be selfish. This is not a place to just be like, oh, I'm better than you. This is a place where you should help your fellow brother or sister out, because they're in the same game just as you did, just as you got into the game. They got in the same way just as you did, probably a little bit different, probably because they got a little bit more money than you. They probably got more blessings than you when they got into the car game, or how they got into the car game, or they know more people than you. But at the end of the day, both of y'all got into the game at the same, somehow, some way. At the end, it probably from different starting points, but y'all finish at the same place. That's the way I'm trying to explain it. 2 different starting points, but y'all finishing at the same place. So if that's the case, if you're all at the same place and every time, and y'all in the same passion, y'all enjoying the same vibe and the same atmosphere, why not come together? So that's just my 2 cents on that. I don't care at all. I love it when they take pictures of my car, because it's not because I want to show off and do me and just, hey, I got this nice looking car and everything. It's not about that. I love people taking pictures of my car because it shows that they appreciate what I appreciate. And I respect that 110%. And another thing that touches my heart a little bit, and I remember this it was back in April, it was at an autism car show in Virginia, and it was at Devious Customs. And it was I think it was in Woodbridge, I believe it was in Woodbridge, in that area. And they were, it was a nice show, it was a great show. And then there was a family that came up. Mother and father, and they had a son. The son got in front of my car. He was excited. He saw my car. I was surrounded by a bunch of imports. But there's nothing wrong with that. I was just surrounded by a bunch of imports. And there was also a few modern muscle cars too. But then when he saw my car, his eyes lit up. He was excited. He was like, I want to take a picture. So the fact I saw him taking a picture in front of my car, it just shows that it's an inspiration to this little kid. One day he wants a car just like mine. So that right there, I love when people take pictures of my car, because they appreciate what I build and may be an inspiration to them. They may want the same cars I have. And I really, it's a great feeling to have. On my car? Which one I would choose?
Period.
Oh, paint. I prefer wrap. I love, because rap is pretty much has been around for. It hasn't been around that long. I was always raised around when cars getting paint, but I honestly like rap jobs too. The rap jobs are good, but they're expensive, but you get what you paid for depending on where you go. But I prefer. It's hard to choose between paint and rap, honestly. But I would choose rap. Yeah. Yeah, I would. In my car? Probably. I already did it a couple times. I love drifting. It was hard to drift this car, but it was doable. But I love drifting. I actually would love to learn how to drift, like literally know how to drift. So it's fun. Definitely night cruise. I'm a night person, so I love driving at nighttime. It's more peaceful. There's not that much traffic on the road, and it's just a perfect time to go on a back road and just play some music and just think if you have to. Meditate. That's literally my therapy, is just taking a night cruise. Best car I've owned? This one. The 92 Z28 that's right behind me. This is the best car I've ever owned so far. Worst car I owned? 93 Prelude. 93 Honda Prelude. I hated that car. That car was, but that was my first. That was my first manual car, my first 5-speed, and I loved it, but I hated it because it had a coolant problem. It literally had and this was my first. It was one of my first cars. I had a 95 Civic, then I had a 93 Prelude, and then I had two 91 Integras, and then I had a 06 Sentra SCR Spec V. So pretty much I had all just imports, or little like Honda 4-bangers pretty much. So this is a big difference. 4 more cylinders, pretty much. A little more power, a little more torque, but it still needs some. It needs some, TLC. It needs some loving. But 93 Prelude, it had a coolant issue. Every time it broke down, and I was only 16 when I got that car. I was 16, 17 years old, and I didn't have that much money at the time, so got rid of it. Got an Integra, paid cash for that. Had fun with that, so. I was glad I got rid of the car, but one thing I did love about the Prelude, it was my first 5-speed, so I learned how to drive a stick on that car. So I missed it a little bit, but didn't really like it. My dream car is a 2000. Actually, it's hard to choose a year, but I'd love to have a Viper. That's one of my favorite cars. It's one of my dream cars is a Viper, and I would love to have one. It doesn't matter what year, as long as it's between 99 to 2006, actually to the new, like present day, like 2017. I love the new Vipers that just came out, because Viper kept coming back and forth. Every now and then they came out for a few years and they left, and they came out for a few more years and they left, and they just came back just a few years ago, and I love the new look. Unfortunately, they stopped making the Viper this year. August 26th of this year was the last Viper that came off the assembly line. So I would love to have a Viper one day. That's one of my dream cars. Fast and Furious. All of them. I don't know which one, but all of them. The whole series. Since I got my license, I got a lot of speeding tickets. I got about, not as much as others, but I probably, between the moment I got my license to now, I had 8 speeding tickets and 4 warnings. That's it. Then a few repair orders here and there, especially on this one because the exhaust is so loud. I got a repair order for that and I had to pay for it. So it is what it is. Look forward to going to the most. I look forward to going to shows more than meets. There's a big difference between meets and shows. Shows are more of a competitive thing. The meets are more laid back and chill. But there's a pro and con with both of those. When you go to car meets, it's a nice chill vibe. It's great to be at. The atmosphere is good and all, but when it comes to the actual crowd, it depends on the crowd. I mean, most of the crowd that comes through is not as mature as the shows. Shows are more mature than the meets, but the meets are more laid back than the shows, because the shows is all about competition, all about getting that trophy, this, that, and the third. Honestly, I'm all about just having fun. I don't care about if I get a trophy or not. If I get a trophy, that's a plus for me. My car is far from getting a trophy. I still got to get some stuff done to it before I can get to that level. But I prefer a show because it's just because of the atmosphere, because the people are more mature. You're actually enjoying everybody's company, because no one's discriminating your car. Everyone's there because, you know, everyone's enjoying what car you have. They're appreciating your build. They're asking questions, actually enjoying what you did. You know, it depends on, not depending, but it's vice versa on whether I'm talking about my car or they're talking about their car. We're all having a good time. Same goes for the meets, but some of the maturity is different. Some people like to do stupid stuff, and that's not what I like. Well, what I would like to share is, when it comes to the car community, is to just keep doing what we're doing, is just, you know, be positive, you know, keep the vibes alive when it comes, you know, making sure that we all are positive, and just doing what we do is best, is just share our passion and help each other out. That's what I would love to see, especially since 2018 is not far. We're only a couple months away from 2018. When that comes around, that should be a whole fresh year when it comes to the car community. I would love to see some new improvements. I would love to see it. Alright, you can find me on social media at Facebook at Ambitious Whips. There's a few places you can find. There's a group page, which is pretty much like a secured page. You just gotta, if you look it up, we can approve you. There's a community page, Ambitious Whips Inc., because since we are registered as a 501c3, we're a non-profit organization. And you can also find us on Instagram at Ambitious Whips, ambitious_whips_. And you can also find us on our website at ambitiouswhips.org. And we're also going to bring up our Snapchat. We're unveiling that in February of 2018. And we're also going to unveil a YouTube page in May. And we're going to start a series of different meets and events that we go to. Precisely cars and coffees, because that's another thing I grew up on. I grew up on cars and coffees when I was a kid, so I want to do a series of different cars and coffees in the area. So you can find us at those social medias and social medias in the future as well.
No, I need bloopers.
That's fine. I'll do bloopers. I'll twerk and everything. Are you recording me while saying this too?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It's recording.
Damn.
I'll edit it out.
Yeah, that's fine. I trust you, but if I hear myself saying I'm twerking on that video, I'm gonna have a problem.
Okay,
No, I'm fucking with you. I'm not gonna have a problem. I don't care. People already see me twerk in person and on Facebook and all that. But yeah.
Yes, I have you in the vlog doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, Tom. Okay, I'm ready.